I think we picked it up. You know, we came off of playing really, really good defense in middle, and there was moments where I thought we could have had a little more pressure and could have done a little thing. But I was really proud of our defense, proud of different people, you know, stepping up and playing the ball, and then switching in our different defenses. And you know, sometimes in zone it's hard to be aggressive, so you know, we changed up a little bit and was going man to man and trying to do some more things. So just this is a hard game to bounce back from. You know, you're playing your rival, you go there. Middle's always a tough team to play against, and then we got to come back home on a quick turnaround. So really proud of how we just locked in and figured out how to get a good win.
You got to be most plays that you played really good defense and didn't let it dictate, you know, what you were doing offensively in the first half, where I think you shot 37%. I mean, you guys were still really good defensively, even as the shots weren't falling.
Yeah, and I think that's what we talked about at halftime, you know, because I felt like when we went to middle, we wasn't focusing on if we made shots or not. We was focusing on defense and rebounding, and that's something that we have to make sure that we continue to do, because that's the type of team we are. Didn't get off to the quickest start offensively like we had been, but again, I just continuing to let them play is what I've learned with this group. You know, sometimes as a coach, you have to understand and know your personnel and what type of teams they are. So that's why, you know, they got up, I think, 8-2, 10-2, and then, you know, I just let them play so they can continue to kind of just get the rhythm of the game. I felt like in the first half we wasn't really in the rhythm offensively, but we was really proud of how we came out the second half.
Michelle, my first year covering your team last year, I thought Ivy was a good defensive player. I think she's now a great player.
Well, she's really locked into doing whatever needs to be done, and that's what, you know, that's why I changed and you know, put her on the ball, and she's aggressive, and you know, got a couple of steals and got some, you know, points, and so she just does it all for us. You know, taking charges. You know, her. You know, I challenge them every game to take a certain amount of charges, and every time I do it, she's one of the ones that always gets a charge. And you know, she got one in middle. She gets one. You know, so she's just. Her game has just evolved and grown so much because she's such a student of the game, and she wants to be great.
You mentioned it being a team. I mean, obviously, you know, Dee was really big in middle the other night. Has 9 and 7 today. Reneen has a double today. How good is that to see that other players are kind of stepping up and doing things around what Ivy and Tasia doing to make defenses really have to sweat?
Yes. That's what makes us a good team. When you have that, when Ivy and Tasia have really worked on their games, and they're going to find ways to score and do the things that they do. We need other people to step up, and that's what's been happening, as you said. You know, and it's really good to see Raneem get back on track, and because when you look at a lot of the games in the beginning of the season, she was that one that was doing really, really well for us, and she's doing incredible as a freshman. You know, and just adjusting and doing everything that we asked, and then just bringing in different people. You know, Terry Smith played well again tonight for us. She hit another big three when I think we was kind of in a drought and hadn't scored, and just defensively and those things. So I'm really proud of the growth of our young ones, and I'm excited about us continuing to keep getting better, because this is the time when you have to do it.
Your 150th win today, and only one person has got to 150 faster, and you played for him. I mean, how special is it to be in that company with Coach Sanford?
It's pretty special. You know, and when you hear those things, this is all about everybody else, my staff and all the players that believed, that came, you know, when we got here, and really, really bought into what we were doing, because that's where a lot of that started from. And then the players that, like, you know, Ivy and Tasia, as I talked about earlier out there, that, you know, when we really wasn't winning big like we are now, Ivy Brown took a chance on us, and you know, then you have Tasia Brown, and then you look at what those two have done for this program. You know, so I'm just grateful. I'm really thankful for Dr. Ransdale and Todd, and at that time when Ross was here, that they believed in me and gave me a chance to come back home, and so that 150 is for everybody.
Michelle, you mentioned Todd. He was the one that told me that Charlotte beat WBB, which means you control your own fate in the conference race. This late in the season, what does it mean to control your own fate and have so much to play for?
You know, I'm just really proud of, man. I know I keep saying it, but you know, when the summer hit and we're looking at all the different things that happened to our team, I sat down with Ivy and Tasia, and I told them that this team will go as they go. and we'll continue to grow every single day, and we'll do what we have to. And so for now, to be sitting in the position that we're in right now with 3 games left says a lot about who they are and their character, and just their work ethic and the listening and the coaching, and I couldn't be happier for them. And then just what we just talked about a few minutes ago, with all the different people stepping up, and with Raheem showing up on campus in August, it just, we're very blessed. I'm blessed as a coach to be able to coach players like, Ivy and Tasia and the rest of these young ladies, and so I'm pretty happy today.
Can I ask something about Tasia and Ivy? And I guess I'm impressed with so many things about them, but just watching how they interact with, you mentioned Raheem and so many of these younger players, they never get down on them. I mean, never.
You're right.
Never.
You're right.
Let's say about that.
It's kind of, all the time it's kind of hard. A lot of people ask me, I'm thinking about it's going to be a wreck for me on Friday. Senior days are always hard, but we've done a lot here, and we've been very blessed. Won championships, done a lot of things. We haven't had 2 players like that. The most unselfish players I've ever been around, that would give themselves for anything. They're just so selfless and so loving, so caring. And sometimes as a coach, it's hard for me because I've had to pull it out of them sometime to kind of demand from their teammates, because they are what you said. They're so great to their teammates. They want everyone to do great. They don't want to have to get on their teammates sometimes when they're not doing things. But as a coach, you learn those things. And I learned that I don't put them in that position. I'm one of those coaches that I tell it like it is. I love my players, they know that, but I'm not afraid to tell them like it is, in between the lines and outside the lines. And we just all mesh very well together. Tasia and Ivy and I have this bond where we understand and know each other. And so to have them has been incredible, and it's awesome to see how they have brought up this team. They're a big part of why we're where we're at.
Can I ask one more thing, Michelle? Today's the 20th win of the season. I know a long ways to go in the season, but you've been in the game a long time at every level. 20 wins for a team, that's no piece of cake. How special is that?
Yeah, it's pretty special, and it's definitely not a piece of cake. There's a lot of teams that every single day, probably for the past couple of weeks, because players start to think, they're getting tired, things are happening, And I go to the huddle every day, and I tell the team, it's good to be tired when you're winning. There's a lot of teams that are not in the position that you're in right now, and have a chance to say, now we've won 20 games, now we're in first place, now there's not a lot of teams that can say that. And so, when you say that 20 wins, and you say, I'm just really happy for this program. Proud for all the alumni, proud for all the coaches that coached here, everybody, Coach Sanford who coached me, everyone, because, that's what this is all about. As we keep adding wins to the column, our program keeps adding those wins. And what that means is, one day, hopefully, we'll be 9th all-time winning program in the country, 8th all-time winning. And if I'm not sitting here, I know someone else will be. And that's what it's all about, leaving a place better than you found it.
Coach, beyond the game, today was obviously your Think Pink game. How important is it to you to use this kind of platform to raise awareness about a disease that affects the lives of so many women?
It's really important, and I talked to, we had education about this too. It's not just about wearing the pink uniforms and wearing pink, and we talked a lot to our team about this, and it's very important. And I'm really blessed that we're in a position that we can do that, and that we can raise money with the free throw competition and do all the things that we can to give back. As they talk about these things, I know it really started for the breast cancer, but this is actually for all the cancer survivors. A lot of that money goes to a lot of different, other cancer organizations and stuff too, as far as for, other patients. So, I think cancer, not only breast cancer, but I think cancer has hit a lot of homes and a lot of families. And so, it means a lot. My dad passed away of lung cancer. I have friends that have breast cancer and different things too. So this day was very special, and we talked to our team about those things, and just really glad that I think at halftime they recognized, and that's important. A lot of those individuals and their families. So really important for us.
Marshall started off hot early on for the first couple minutes, and then you had those mentioned long scoring droughts. Were there any early adjustments made, or did the intensity just pick up after those first couple minutes?
I think our intensity, I think that's what we talked about, especially when we came to the huddle after the first quarter. I think the score was 13-10. I could be wrong. Yep, 13-10. And we just talked about that and talked about our intensity, our level of intensity, and playing our basketball game. I think that's one thing that we really try to talk about a lot now, playing and being who we are so we can continue to keep getting better.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you all.